Hey guys, so I'm here today to have a chat about Tati Westbrook. So I feel like a lot of the times on the internet and just like in general society, we have a short attention span. The news cycle is so fast that we make snap judgments and just move on with our lives and like don't revisit things. So I wanted to kind of take a step back and look at the Tati Westbrook situation, look at what happened, where she is now, and if I think she'll ever come back, because it's very strange to me that she's been gone for so long with a beauty brand and a vitamin brand that are just kind of left in limbo. So before I get into this video, subscribe to my channel every Tuesday and Thursday, and you should hit that button. We talk shit here. We talk makeup, we talk drama. I just like to talk a lot. So hit the button. Also, my cat does too. So if we're gonna go back to the beginning, Tati, just like a very brief synopsis. Tati started on YouTube about 10 years ago in about 2010, 2011. It's hard to tell when someone started on YouTube because they usually delete their old videos anyways. I feel like this bra is like NC-17. But she's been on YouTube for about 10 years now. She started kind of like right when the beauty influencer bubble was booming. I kind of scrolled back to her old videos and she did lots of collabs with like, remember like Fleur de Force and Nikki Philippi and like all those YouTube girls from back in the day. And really what made Tati popular was that she was posting 5 videos a week. She posted every single day. Like Tati took this seriously and she was doing favorites videos, reviews, first impressions, hot or nots, like what's new at the drugstore. Like it was lots of reviews. And while Tati was older than the people who came up with her, I don't even think it was her age that made her seem older. It was more so like, because really she's not that much older than the girls that came up with her. It's more so I think was just her personality. She was just like a more like, she just acted more mature and professional. And so I feel like a lot of people respected Tati's opinions because of that. Like I don't think her age was ever really a hindrance. It probably was in some aspects, but I think it also made viewers kind of trust her more as like someone they could look up to and respect. So she was doing tons of videos. She was living life. She was very unproblematic. I can only think of 2 dramas that Tati has ever been in her entire career. The first one was that in June of 2017, she did a collab video with Jeffree Star. She got ready in his private jet with him on his channel. And I think the main reason this blew up for her was because, I mean, everyone has always side-eyed Jeffree Star, but this was right after Jackie Aina had put him in an anti-haul and he attacked her online, calling her horrendous things and being microaggressive. And so I think it was the first time, like really Jackie's video was the first time the general public, I think, started to see the other side of Jeffree. And see, like I didn't know any of his history, his racist history before Jackie did that video. So people kind of clapped back at Tati and were pissed at her. I think she might have said something about it on stories, but I couldn't find any drama videos. It's also really hard to try to search drama videos of Jeffree and Tati from 2017 because everything that comes up is recent stuff. And then other than that, the only scandal she was in was that scandal with the Emily Noel palette and Kiki Chanel. And like really, when you look at it in the grand scheme of scandals, it is PG-13. Moving right along to, I don't want to say current day, but so early 2018, she launched Halo Beauty, which I think was, I don't really want to say it was a scandal for her, but it was unexpected, I think, for a lot of people, because when people heard that Tati was coming out with like a product line or whatever, we all thought it would be makeup or skincare, and for it to be hair gummies is like sus. And also the fact that in the video Tati talked about how she had been using it and loving it while she also was wearing hair extensions, and we all know she gets like facial procedures done, and I don't mean like Botox or anything, I mean like facials that improve her skin. So people were a little side-eye about that. And I mean, really, I don't think it didn't get a lot of like reviews or anything. And that's also a weird thing about her product. It's not something you can review until you try it for 30 days. So like by then the like luster probably wore off. But at the same time, Tati had a dedicated fan base. So I'm sure she was selling tons of them. I'm sure there's people that still buy them to this day. So then in April of 2019, James Charles did a sponsorship with Sugar Bear Hair. And it was just a swipe up story on his Instagram. that talked about, and just to make note of this, because I was actually talking to my best friend about this and she didn't realize this, it wasn't even about their hair gummies, because technically they are Tati's biggest rival as a competitor, but the ad wasn't about their hair gummies, it was about their melatonin gummies. And what I think is funny about this is through all of the drama between Tati and James, it actually came out that James had never tried them before, and like he had said, he was just feeling uncomfortable at Coachella, and instead of leaving like he could have done, he got like VIP passes from Sugar Bear Hair if he would do a video on their or a swipe up story on their melatonin gummies. But he literally said he'd never tried them. So I think it's weird that James didn't catch any backlash for hawking drugs, like medicated gummies, to his very young fan base that he had actually never used before. Like, you know, so many YouTubers say like, oh, we get shit on for doing sponsorships, but I only take sponsorships if I really, really love the product. And James just literally said, fuck that, did the sponsorship, and nobody ever shaded him for it. And I mean, there was a lot of other stuff going on at the time, so he kind of like got away unscathed in that aspect, which I just thought was very interesting. And on May 4th, Gabriel Zamora put up a video. I think it was like, was this like his My Truth video? I don't know. He just like inserted himself into the drama because Tati had complained on Instagram stories that she was so fed up of the fake people in YouTube and just feeling like she had no real friends. And I think Tati has always felt a little left out of the influencer groups on YouTube. And again, I think probably her age and her maturity factor plays a fact in that. Like, it wasn't even like her age, it's just that like, as a human, I don't think she's into that with like them. And so because of that, I feel like James Charles was probably one of her first really close friends, and she felt betrayed. Which, like, I think anyone can understand in the moment. My best friend and I were talking about it, and she was like, if we were in that position and you promoted like my direct competitor without telling me, I'd be pissed. And like, I get it. So Gabriel Zamora stuck his nose where it didn't belong, which is kind of his brand, and basically told her to shut up. So then on May 10th, Tati released the bombshell that was Bye Sister. And now that it has kind of been, there has been time for all of us to digest it and like rewatch it. I rewatched it, even though it's been taken down. You can find anything on the internet. A lot of people have kind of dissected the video and gone through it again and been like, really, no matter how many times Tati says it wasn't about vitamins, it was about vitamins. And it wasn't even about, let's be real, it wasn't about vitamins. It was about a friendship that fell apart. Tati took it too far, and she probably did let Jeffree and Shane get all up in her ear and kind of warp her mind a little bit. But when it comes down to it, Tati basically weaponized her trust. Both D'Angelo Wallace and Smokey Glow have done videos on this, and I will link them down below because I think they're great. Basically what happened was Tati had spent her entire career building trust with us as viewers, and we all trusted her. It's actually so funny, my best friend and I were talking the other week about the Jaclyn Hill mystery boxes, and my best friend said, I wouldn't trust any brand to do mystery boxes, because like, you have to love everything from that brand to be okay with a mystery box. And she said the only person I'd trust to do it well would be Tati. And I laughed because I was like, that's the thing. That's what Tati has spent her career doing, was building trust. And that's why she could sell us anything she wanted to, because she had built this trust with us. And that's why when the Bye Sister video came out, nobody questioned it. But when you rewatch it now, there are no receipts. There are no receipts, and while Tati may say at a later date, which we will discuss, that she didn't call James Charles a predator, just because she didn't say the word like Jeffree Star does not mean that she didn't infer it. She planted the seeds for Jeffree to be able to pounce on it and kind of act as her backup, but she's the one that started the conversation. Jeffree's statement would have held no weight without Tati and her trust being in front of it. And that's what it is. Realistically, maybe Tati heard a bunch of lies. There's the whole rumor about the voice note that I'm not even gonna touch on because it's never been released and no one knows if it's real or not. But it clearly hasn't come out, so. And I think the reason that Tati was susceptible to all of this was because she was hurt that her friend hurt her. And instead of taking some time and thinking about it, she really released this like 2 weeks after James Charles did the Hair Bear video. So she was like, didn't really give herself time to like reflect and think, and she just went and posted this Bye Sister video, and we all were like, yeah, that sounds legit. And then James Charles posted No More Lies, and it blew our minds because we were like, oh, you know what? You know what? It's right. And also like the waiter from Seattle or wherever posted videos, and it was clear he was clout chasing. So like, it was very clear that like people like, while James may not be a perfect person, this wasn't the drama to take him down. And it was very clear that Tati was just in her feelings, and she weaponized her trust to take down a child because he was a bad friend to her, which I could do a whole video on why we cancel people for being bad friends. I actually touched on it in my Trisha Paytas is Not a Victim video, that we cancel people for being bad friends instead of being bad people. And what's also interesting is the Bye Sister situation was wild. Like, that was like peak YouTube drama, and Tati only took off like 2 weeks from YouTube. She posted the Bye Sister video on May 10th, and then she posted another regular ass video on May 24th. So that's why it's so wild to me that she's been gone for so long, because Bye Sister is what started all of this. And she posted that and then took what, 2 weeks off, and then 2 weeks off, right? Yeah, 2 weeks off, and then acted like nothing happened and went on with her life. Like she didn't just try to ruin the reputation of a child. This is the only time I'll bring her age into it, because I don't think age plays that much of a part, but I do think that, you know, Tati, Jeffree, and Shane are grown ass people. Tati is currently 39, so at the time she was probably like 36, 37, and I wouldn't care, except for the fact that James Charles was like 19. He's a literal child. He's supposed to fuck up. This is when you fuck up. But her job was to not try to bury him as a grown-ass adult. Her job was to see the consequences. And she said she saw the consequences and just continued on because Jeffree and Shane egged her on. So anyways, that goes off without a hitch. And then in October of I guess it was 2019. Yeah. No, October of 20, so that was, wait. Oh yeah, so all of my dates say 2020, but they should be 2019. Sorry, my own timeline is fucked up. So in October of 2019, the Jeffree Star, Shane Dawson documentary gets posted, and they post the teaser trailer, which has all the drama in it, and then they post all the videos, and there's not a lick of drama in there. And my theory is that Shane and Jeffree were recording the drama for the series because they wanted to use it. But then the drama didn't go how they expected to go. If this was all, if James Charles was ruined over this and they came out smelling like roses, that documentary 100% would have included all of that. But because it turned out that James Charles came back, clapped back, had receipts unlike any of them, and Jeffree Star basically had to make a video saying that he wasn't gonna comment anymore, that's why they didn't include it in the documentary, because they didn't come out looking good. And then on October 16, 2020, Tati revealed Tati Beauty. Again, just living her life at this point, you know, things are calm, no one's talking about anything, it's whatever. And then Tati Beauty launches October 25th, it sells out. And keep in mind, that palette last year, or in 2019, was in everybody's favorite videos. It was in my favorite videos, it was in so many people's favorite videos. Everyone loved that palette. It was beautiful. I loved the formulation, like gorgeous, gorgeous. Sold out in the first day. Then January 9th, 2020, she launches Blenderful. Relaunches the Tati palette on January 10th. Oh, sorry, she reveals Blenderful January 9th, launches it January 11th. And she posted consistently, again, for basically a year after the Bye Sister video until May 4th, 2020. Then she vanishes. Because what happened was, Jeffree Star, Doggy Vanity came back. And if you missed the whole Doggy Vanity Jeffree Star situation, basically, Doggy Vanity was outed as being a sexual predator, and it came out that Jeffree Star had kicked him off a tour for being a sexual predator, and Jeffree Star had tweeted that he kicked him off a tour for being a sexual predator, but then Jeffree Star had him on his tour a year later, so people were coming for Jeffree, being like, what the fuck? And so Jeffree was like trying to do the media rounds to like, it blew up too big that he couldn't ignore it, and he was trying to do the media rounds to, you know, placate the situation, kind of underplay it. And he basically said I think his story was that he was lying when he said Davide was a sexual predator the first time around. But like, I just don't, like, so that, if that's the truth, that's 2 times you've lied about sexual predators, but we'll move on from that. So what happened was, during that time, he went on the Mom's Basement podcast, and they brought it up. They were like, did you lie about him being a sexual predator? And he said, well, yeah, in this instance I did. And they were like, okay, but what about James Charles? And he said, well, I didn't lie about that. That was Tati. I didn't do anything. That was all Tati. And he threw Tati pretty fucking hard under the bus. And I mean, I think most people were like, okay, well, you still said it. But at the same time, he's not wrong. Tati did start the situation. And that's when she vanished. So that kind of was the catalyst to her taking time off. She stopped posting on May 4th of 2020. Then the weird, inappropriate clips of Shane Dawson started resurfacing, and I think, which is weird because really I don't think the Mom's Basement thing was until June, and Tati stopped posting in May, and long before that Tati had stopped following Jeffree on social, so I don't really know what the timeline is there, but basically I think when this all started happening, Tati saw her opening. She started posting like weird tweets with like butterflies and shit, like, and everyone was like, oh, Tati's coming back. So at this point, she had only been gone for a month. She stopped posting on May 4th, and then on June 30th, so 2 months, she posted her Breaking My Silence video. And people did, I think the issue is, Tati thought it would go over better than it did. I think Tati thought that she could paint Jeffree and Shane as the bad guys, and then come out as a victim and be able to just move on with her life and kind of revive the trust her audience had in her and move on. But I think Tati underestimated, or maybe overestimated, how much people hate Shane and Jeffree. Because here's the thing, Tati's, like, you know, Jeffree's fans are diehard fans. They love that he's problematic. He could be as problematic as he wants, and there are people that will always support him. And while that's awful, it kind of works for him because he never has to be a good person for his fans to support him. Whereas Tati has built her entire brand and channel around her being an honest, authentic person, and kind of what Bye Sister and Breaking My Silence showed us was that she wasn't. Because in the Breaking My Silence video, she did not take any accountability. She said that I did not call James Charles a predator. She said the Bye Sister video wasn't made with malice. She said, you know, also in it, she talked about how she was friends with Jeffree because she thought she could empower him and change him. And it's just like, why do you need to work with racists to try to change them? Like, it's such like a white savior complex. Like, maybe just like, also if that was the case, maybe you could just do that in private behind the scenes and not post about him and give him publicity on your channel where you literally tried out his products all the time and displayed them behind you in your backgrounds. And once again, the Breaking My Silence video, I mean, first of all, it was scripted, so like it already makes it feel a little bit disconnected. And second of all, there's no receipts. There's no receipts for anything that she says, that Shane says, anything she says that Jeffree says. And I understand not wanting to kind of play that game if they also have shit on you, but when you came out with Bye Sister and you had no receipts, you basically proved that you were lying about a lot of stuff, or you were being untruthful. And now to come out with another video with this, it's basically she was trying to play the same game, but with a different angle, and it backfired on her again. She was trying to weaponize her trust and her audience and the hate they had for Jeffree and Shane and kind of turn that around. And, you know, a lot of people online were like, being like, oh, you're 38 years old, how can you be manipulated? And I think that's fucking ridiculous, because anyone can be manipulated by anybody. I like think about all the women who are in abusive relationships. It doesn't matter how old they are. That doesn't mean that you can't be manipulated. But I also think that she needs to take some responsibility for her own actions, because regardless if she was manipulated into believing things about James that were wrong, she still took those actions. She still weighed the pros and cons of what it would do to James, and she still went ahead with it with little to no evidence on her side. And then the Breaking My Silence video, I just think it would have come off a lot better if she had actually taken some accountability for her actions, because while she did apologize to James and Jackie in that video, she didn't take accountability. It was more so giving excuses as opposed to just being like, what I did was wrong, I fucked up, etc. It was just like, it just felt like she was giving excuses and trying to manipulate her audience. And so why do I think Tati is gone? And do I think she'll ever come back? I know there's also a bunch of lawsuits going on right now between her and Without a Crystal Ball and her business partner. And I'm just gonna say, I don't think that has anything to do with her time away. Without a Crystal Ball, I think she's just trying to deplatform her and get her to stop spreading lies. But let's be real, Without a Crystal Ball isn't having any real impact on Tati because she's such a small channel. And if Tati was to just keep posting, like if Tati was posting at the time, it wouldn't impact her at all. Like nobody would be commenting like, oh, Without a Crystal Ball said this. Like it's pretty clear that Katie Joy Paulson is a little bit unhinged and has gone way over the line a million times and has spread lies about Tati. And the lawsuit with her business partner, she countersued or like came back, and it basically has come out that it seems like his suit has no legs to stand on and he's gonna end up losing it. He seems a little sketchy. So I don't think those have anything to do with why Tati's gone, to be honest. I think she's gone because she doesn't know how to come back. Tati has been unproblematic for her entire life, so she doesn't know how to take a criticism like this. She doesn't know how to deal with the fact that she's lost her audience's trust. Look at Jaclyn Hill. Jaclyn Hill is the queen of controversy. She has been in a million scandals, and she comes back every time. She's great at manipulating her audience, and she takes the hate and she twists it and makes it so that her audience feels bad for her, and then they still buy her stuff. But with Tati, I just don't think she doesn't know how to handle the criticism, and she doesn't know how to come back from this. And of course, this is probably affecting her mental health, and that probably has another reason with the way, there's probably another reason that she's still gone. But what's bizarre to me about all of this is that Tati has two brands that are just on hold right now. On the Tati Beauty website, the palette and the Blenderful are still in stock, but she hasn't launched anything for a year now. And Halo Beauty has not launched any new products for a year now. And it's just so weird that she just has these two brands that are sitting in limbo. And do I think that honestly, Tati Beauty could launch a product tomorrow without Tati ever speaking about it, and I think it would still do well. Tati could go the Jaclyn Hill route where she just posts when she's hyping new products up and shilling new products, and she would still be successful. I think like honestly, this is what's confusing about the situation to me, is that Tati could come back tomorrow and post a video and act like nothing happened, and people would be fine with it. She'd get hate comments for a little bit, I think, probably. And not even hate comments. I think it would just be people being like, you should take accountability for your actions. But I think she'd be fine, which is why it's so weird to me that she's not back yet, that she's letting her brands just live in limbo. But again, I think it's just because she doesn't know how to rebrand her own personal brand, and I don't think she knows how to kind of move forward from this. And it's obviously hard when your personal brand is you. Like, it's not like it's just a brand that's gonna get hate. It's her personally that's gonna get hate because it's her personally that fucked up. So, you know, I would like her to come back and, you know, she could do a short video, take accountability for what she did. I don't think she's not taking accountability for legal reasons, because even that in the Breaking My Silence video, even though there's lawsuits now, they have nothing to do with Jeffree or Shane, so I don't think that has anything to do with it. Basically, the end result is I have no idea where Tati is or when she's gonna come back, and it's fucking weird to me. Like I said, I think part of it is also a toll on her mental health. I think it's hard for her to, you know, obviously deal with hate online. And also, I believe she was talking about trying to get pregnant before, and that was a real struggle, so she might just be taking time off to try to get pregnant without all the drama around her, because then she could come back, then she could come back with an I'm pregnant video and people would forget all about the drama. It would be all love and butterflies. And a lot of people are saying that now is the perfect time for her to come back because Jeffree and Shane are even more on the outs than they had ever been. But I mean, they were pretty on the outs when Tati brought her video back, and it did not go over well for her. So yeah, I don't know where Tati is. I think at some point she's going to have to come back because like I said, she has 2 stagnant brands right now that are kind of like reliant on her being an influencer. And she could easily, you know, like I don't see her just giving up the influencer life and never coming back, especially when she's at the point where she has started 2 brands. So I think she will come back eventually. I just don't know when, and I don't know. That's my answer. I would love to know what you guys think in the comments down below. Has Tati like shattered your trust? Or if she came back, would she eventually be able to kind of build it back? Because like I think to Tati, she feels like she shattered the trust with her audience, but at the same time, people, like I said, have a short attention span and a short memory, so they're gonna forgive her when she comes back and they're gonna let her live her life and be fine. So let me know down below what you guys think. Do you think Tati is gone forever? Do you think she'll come back? We're basically almost at a year now that she's been gone, which is wild. What if she goes back with a kid? So yeah, I'll be interested to kind of see how this plays out. It's just a strange situation. You know, people disappear off the internet all the time when they're influencers, but Tati has millions of subscribers, and like, here's the thing, she's one of the, like, there are content creators that could post crap, release crap products and would do fine, and Tati's one of those people. I mean, I don't think she would, because she does have integrity in her brand and in her products, but she could easily do it and it would be fine. So yeah, that's my thoughts on the Tati beauty situation, or Tati situation. I do hope she comes back. I do love my Tati palette, so like I need another one. Tati, please, thank you. And yeah, let me know down below what you guys think, and I will talk to you guys next time. Bye!